Do you remember when inchies were popular? Taking little strips, little pieces of paper and creating mostly masterpieces with them. I had an idea for my June class, and I just want to have a bit of a play to see if I still like the technique. Because honestly, I have 100 million scraps on my desk right now. So we're going to play. I've got a card base that is, well, it's supposed to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but somebody, when they were measuring, messed up. So we're going to have this little accent piece right here. And we're just going to go with it. And I am using the new Waterfront, I think that's the name of it, stamp set. It's available in the new catalog. And I've got 3 pieces of basic white, slightly bigger than an inch. They're 1 1/4 inches. And I'm just going to take 3 of our focal images off of this stamp set. And we're going to stamp them. I'm going to use the coffee cup, the reeds or the seagrass, and I think the seagull. The farmers are working the fields right now, and there are seagulls everywhere. I've also had several blackbirds in the yard for the last quite a while. Okay, so we're just going to take, and actually these, actually none of these ones I've used yet. So I'm just going to take and stamp on a sample piece just to make sure that I'm going to get a clean impression. And then aim for the center. There's our first one. Do the seagrass. And because it's slightly larger and longer, I'm going to bring in my scrap, stamp first, and then I'm just going to stamp on here so that I don't get it all over my work surface. And I'm going to do a couple of different impressions, and then the last one that we're going to do is the coffee cup. Perils of clear stamp on a work surface is not always being able to find it. All right, and then we're just going to do the coffee cup. Now I feel like this needs to have something else added. I don't know if relax is going to fit, but we'll try. At an angle it will. There we go. And I've already adhered my paper on. This is 1 inch by 5 1/2, but I feel like it needs a little bit of something extra to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So I'm going to bring in my paper cutter, and I'm going to use my scoring tool because, well, frankly, I'm not sure where my scoring blade went. So this is what, 2 and 2 1/2, 2 7/8. So I'm going to bring it in to 2 1/4. And you can score this at whatever interval you want. Sorry, apparently that was a hard word for me to remember. I'm going to do 1/4 inch. And, oops. Is 3 enough? I think so. I'm going to do it just a little bit harder here. push a little bit deeper. That wasn't quite as dark as I was hoping it was going to be. Okay, that's better. You can see them a little bit better now. And now you want to make sure you're not pushing too hard that you're going to pop a hole through your card. Stampin' Up! Cardstock is usually pretty thick though, so it's not something that I'm worried about. Okay, so we're going to do seagull on the bottom, and I've got my dimensionals here. I'm just going to kind of mass produce this. I like one on each corner. Oops. It's amazing when your fingers want to cooperate in the morning. Oh my goodness. Okay. So like I said, this is going to be one of the cards that, or not this exact one, but we are going to be playing with inchies in my June class. Perfect way to show you how to use up all of the paper, because we all have little teeny tiny scraps from offcuts and different folds and stuff. And yeah, they tend to accumulate rather quickly. All right, so I'm going to do seagull on the bottom. Relax. Actually, I'm going to do this guy up here. That's roughly. And then relax in the center. And the sentiment, have a great birthday, which I'm going to stick, where's that going to go? I think on the bottom. And I have used this one before, so I'm not going to be too worried that it's not going to give a good impression. I was thinking about ways that I could make this more detailed, but sometimes you just want something straightforward and simple. You could add a matte layer of a different color or a coordinating color on top to add a little bit of interest. You could color the coffee cup. You could add some bling. Apparently I'm adding ink splotches, which, you know, is also a fun technique to try every once in a while, but we got to add the bling. So I'm using the gold. I'm just going to kind of highlight, oops, the birthday sentiment here. Except you're not going to play nice, are you? There we go. There we go. And we'll just highlight our birthday sentiment. So 1 inch, 1.25 inches by 1.25 inches. Quick, easy, add a little bit of detail with some additional scoring. And there is our card completely done. So keep an eye. My email list is down below if you would like to get notified every time I am doing a new class. It will be in person and by mail. There's also an online option if you are outside of Canada, so be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.